Good morning, everyone. This is Lori in Spokane at the office today. And today we're going to do a special briefing to talk about the impactful winds that we are going to see this afternoon and this evening. So our overview, winds will be picking up today across the region, gusts up to 40 through about 2 o'clock this afternoon. For the lower valley locations, we're already seeing higher gusts in the mountains above like 6,000 feet. And then the front will move through between 2 and 8 p.m. tonight, and we are expecting damaging winds with gusts 50 to 65 miles an hour, potentially 70 miles an hour or more, and blowing dust over the Columbia Basin. And then after 8 p.m., it's still going to be windy with gusts up to 55 possible. And then after 11 p.m., those winds will be decreasing through the night so that by tomorrow morning, generally most locations will see gusts 35 miles an hour or less. There is snow expected in the Cascades as well. So our wind gust forecast. Winds will peak between 2 and 8 p.m. We are expecting blowing dust. We are expecting impacts from these winds, such as power outages, damaged and downed trees, treacherous travel, even potential brush fires where there are dead grasses from last season. I know you want to pay attention to the wind speeds. The wind speeds could vary a little bit on either side of this image. We have very high confidence that there are going to be impacts from these winds. That's the point we want to get across. The blowing dust, the power outages, the tree damage, the problems traveling, potential brush fires. That's the thing, that's the screaming message here for you guys. You know, our confidence in the wind speeds is moderate to high, but like I said, especially with the front itself, there could be a 5-10 minute brief period where gusts are higher than this. All right. So this is going to be a high impact storm. So images like this, I would suspect, will be common and across the region. Now, not every single spot across Eastern Washington, North Idaho will see impacts like this, but I would say it's going to be widespread across the region. So impacts of 60 miles an hour or more would be widespread power outages, widespread tree damage, treacherous driving conditions, and the blowing dust. So let's talk about the blowing dust. We have issued a blowing dust advisory from 2 p.m. today to 5 a.m. Monday. Now, the highest impact of that is expected from 2 p.m. to about 8 p.m.
All right, Joey.
And with that blowing dust advisory, we can expect to see visibilities of 1/4 of a mile to 1 mile at times. The thing I want to point out is with the blowing dust, we haven't seen wind speeds like this early in the planting season. So do we expect blowing dust? Yes. Do I think it'll be widespread? Yes. What do I think the impacts will be? That I'm not as certain because we haven't seen something like this before. We know that it's been incredibly dry. The soils are abnormally dry, especially in Adams and Grant counties. We know that those counties have seen very little precipitation in weeks. And we know that we've heard that farmers are preparing their fields. They are getting ready for spring planting. So you guys know your areas the best. You know where the fields are being worked and where they're not being worked. But if there are fields being worked near major highways and roads, I would expect there to be some impacts, some restrictions to visibility. We are prepared for visibilities near zero. And if that happens, we will be issuing dust storm warnings. And we are in contact with the traffic management in Wenatchee and in Spokane for them to keep us updated on the roads and what they are seeing on the ground. So our snowfall forecast, all I really want to say about this is it looks like Stevens Pass will be on the high end of that 12 to 18 inches. And we have upgraded that to a winter storm warning for snow at Stevens Pass starting mid to late afternoon through early Monday morning. So our current highlights we have out is this map. It includes a lot of Seattle and Pendleton and Missoula's highlights as well. I did not highlight the blowing dust. I didn't want to add to it, but the blowing dust is for Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Western Whitman counties for the blowing dust potential. Our impacts map, we have changed some of the colors. We think the blowing dust potential in these counties into Western Whitman as well, the impact could be extreme with closing roads and near zero visibility. And then we're also concerned about Eastern Whitman County because of the wind speeds with the potential for fallen trees and power outages for them as well. And then the other areas in red are for potential tree damage and power outages as well. So in summary, we're going to have an incredibly strong windstorm where we are expecting high impacts this afternoon and this evening with gusts 50 to 65 miles an hour, locally 70 miles an hour, potentially even more right with that front. And so we are expecting damaged trees, power outages, blowing dust, difficult travel, and a potential for elevated brush fires where there's dead fuels from last season and it's been dry. So that's what I have for you guys. I am going to unmute you right now and you are free to answer questions. Andy is here with me as well. So we will answer any questions you guys have right now. There's a lot of similarities and there's some differences as well. For example, the January windstorm, we had a lot of rain right before, which saturated the soils, which helped with the winds push the trees down. We don't have those conditions necessarily this time. But we do think that there will be the impacts like there were last time with there will be trees down, there will be power outages. Will it be to the extent of January 13th? I don't know, maybe Andy has a better feeling than I do of that. Yes, Simone, we can hear you. Any other questions? Yes. Yes. No, that was good. Any other questions? Okay, you guys know how to reach us, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have questions, if you have concerns, if something's occurring and you want to let us know, you can chat with us, you can email us, you can call us. So please do so. All right. You're welcome. Thank you, everyone.